Thanks for listening to the Natural Ones podcast. You can find us on Twitter at the Nat Ones Cast or on Facebook, facebook.com/the Nat Ones Cast. You can email us, thenatonescast@gmail.com, or find us individually. You can find Aydin at Alakaya A58. You can find Zeki at Zektown, Jerry at JMEE3RD, or myself at PatEuglow. Thanks for listening, and is that another natural one?
Previously on the Natural Ones, at the base of his skull, I'm gonna mice and men him.
Unfortunately, I guess Toby had messed with everybody's weapons.
Damn you, Toby!
It's just a little bit off.
Well, I have hide as a bonus action, so I wanna hide using my stealth.
You can hide in the open air. Just jump.
Come on, guys. I almost have him down here. Little bit of help would be great.
We left off with you guys last time. You had defeated a troll handily and made your way down the mountain through the outer lands, the farmlands outside of the city of Brent's, and you came upon the Carlil farm estate type deal. And you guys were just like pulling up as we kind of called it for the evening.
Okay.
And if you remember correctly, Marcus Carlil was a name that Shalou had kind of dropped for you guys to meet up with and contact to potentially help you get into the city with less of a hiccup.
And am I still filthy at this point?
How much troll blood were you covered in?
Like I dove into it like Han stuffing Luke into the tauntaun.
Oh yeah, you're gross. Because you also refused to bathe after the goblins.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
So you're just kind of grody.
Smells so bad.
Can we just throw him in the harbor?
Even little Sebastian doesn't want any of that.
All right, do we have to go through a guard to get into town, or is it is it a walled city?
It is a large walled city. I did share a picture. Let me throw it.
Oh yeah, I remember it from the Discord.
I think that was actually in the Twitter chat, but I'll send it to the Discord now. It is the town of Brent, or the city of Brent. You guys are currently a couple hours ride outside of the city. If you can remember all the way back to whenever I sent you the little bit, the world map.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There were a couple hexes around where the city of Brent was,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like a light green. That was indicating that those are all farmlands. So there's miles of farmlands, and you're kind of in the middle of one of those hexes right now.
Okay. And we're outside. What's the name? Kula?
Carlisle.
Marcus Carlisle.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys have kind of just rolled up now. You can decide to go on to his farm and try to meet him, or you guys can continue on and try to get into the city.
I think if this Carlisle guy can get us in the city unknown, I think it's worth hooking up with him.
For once, I agree with Grizz.
Yeah, I think that's the better choice.
All right. Can we go towards the Carlisle estate and knock on the door?
Yeah.
Knock on the door. What is it? We Girl Scouts? I want to scout the perimeter first to make sure it's not a trap.
All right. Make an investigation check.
Is that a D20?
Yes.
19.
Man, Wizards is treating you right.
Huh.
Yeah, buddy.
With that, you notice outside there are large pastures full of beef and dairy cows. I know that there's a difference in the cow community. I want to distinguish. You kind of notice and get the idea that compared to some of the other farms that you've passed so far and everything else, the Carlisle farm is probably the biggest farm out of all of them that you've seen. And the farmhouse compound area, it looks fairly well maintained. There looks like there's some newer equipment. All of the horses that are pulling carts They all seem young. None of them are very old. It seems that whoever lives at this place, namely Marcus, he's probably doing something right, and he probably doesn't love the fact that he's not in the city.
Okay.
So you're saying he's got a chicken or two to spare?
There's a couple chickens, but not that many.
So he would notice if one went missing.
If you show up with chicken blood all over you, Jerry, he might know what's going on.
How could he tell the difference? I'm already covered in troll blood.
And goblin blood.
And goblin blood.
Well, you have a point there.
I would like to steal a chicken.
No, we're not stealing chickens yet. I'll buy
I
you a
wouldn't
chicken.
necessarily be opposed
We
to
can,
it.
let's figure out what's up with this Marcus guy first before we start robbing him blind.
All right, we can just
All
continue.
right, I'm gonna go knock on his door.
All right, you knock, and as you knock on the door, around the side of the house, you see a man in his 30s coming around. He has a shaved head with a big hardy beard. He's carrying like a large bin of beets, and with like a hearty laugh, he says, "Don't mind knocking on that door. I'm right here. How's it going? My name is Marcus Carlisle. What can I do for you?"
Marcus, my name is Grizz. These are my compatriots, Ang and Hugh.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. Our friend Shalou mentioned that you may be able to help us get into the city of Brinst. We are travelers from a port town far away. We are looking to find our way into the city, preferably as stealthily as possible.
That sounds like Shalou.
Yeah.
She's
a firecracker.
butting
that
heads
one.
with the UTC.
You could say that. Her and the UTC, I don't think, get along very well, so we're here to assist in any way that we can.
Well, that makes sense. No big deal or anything, but I'm kind of the Outer Lands go-to guy for going into the city.
Okay. Then that sounds like you're the guy we need to talk to.
Yeah, definitely. Come inside.
Okay. I'm gonna walk in behind him. I'm gonna let Grizz and Ang follow me.
Cool.
Yep, I'll follow.
All right, so as you guys enter, you see a large hearth with meat and a large pot with like a stew already brewing. Like it's kind of been going for the past few hours. It's humble, but not run down. Things are nice. They're in order. They're not strewn about. This guy obviously has enough time to take care of everything. It's not like he's running around all day managing the farm.
Mm-hmm.
He has people to do that for him. He welcomes you to his dining room table. He has a very large wooden table, and on it he unrolls a large map, and at the top of the map it says Brinst, and it's the same image I sent you guys earlier.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Maybe the DM should check his messages.
It's just the dice bag. Did you send me a thing?
Yeah, on Discord.
Oh man. Oh. So as he's unrolling this map, you guys kind of see all the different districts of Brinth. It's kind of shaped like an egg with like the wide end facing the farmlands.
Mm-hmm.
So as you can kind of like see, he's pointing to things. The first thing he wants to point out to you guys is upon entering the city, you'll see on your left a large bazaar. This is where I do most of my business. I mean, I bring my cows in, they butcher them, there's blood everywhere. But people love my meat.
I come in giggling
That's what she said.
and plop myself on the bench from outside.
I don't think I caught your name. What is that again?
My friends call me Hugh.
Oh, okay,
You can call me Hugin.
Hugh, you look like a man who knows his way around a bazaar or two. This is what I was just showing these guys as you came in.
Very nice.
Yeah, right there on the left corner of the city, there's like a whole quadrant dedicated to the bazaar. Um, it's where you'll find a lot of exotic ingredients, more organic stuff. This is a very elite city after all. It's like I think there's like a quarter foods over in one section of the bazaar.
Oh, jeez.
They're really into the non-GMO stuff, huh?
Yeah, definitely. That's my whole
Better
thing.
cost you a whole paycheck, though.
Take a look out this window. Take a look out this window, and he like points over to a huge window, and you see like the fields of grass and all of his cows grazing on them. And he's like, "This is grass-fed beef. It's good stuff."
That's the best.
As you look over to your right, there's these large guard posts because that is where all of the town guard is stationed. And one thing you're going to want to really know is the UTC runs this place, top to bottom. And that does not stop with the guards. I tell you this because you tell me you are friends with Chalu.
Okay. I mean, are these guards going to be a problem with us getting around the city? Are they going to know that we're trying to get into the city? Exactly how in the know are these guards?
They're as much in the know as any other guard, but they're dicks.
Okay. Good to know, good to know.
Are they well paid? Are they disgruntled? Could we sow some discord?
I mean, everybody has their price. Look at me. I'm the go-between between the Outer Lands and the city itself, and most of the people in that city despise me, but they still deal with me. That comes with a price.
Can we do one of those hokey engagements where we hide under your cart and sneak through in your produce?
I love those.
I mean, if you really want to, I don't think you would need to hide with the stakes, but especially covered in whatever that is.
It's seasoning. It's a good seasoning. It'll fetch a fair
I don't know
price.
if he's going to want to spoil his meat with your stench, Hugh.
You do smell seasoned.
All right. I mean, are these guys just going to let us through, do you think?
Yeah, I'll just tell them you're with me, and as long as you stay out of too much trouble, I think it won't be that big of an issue.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
Is there anything else you guys have interest in the city?
If I wanted to find a smithy, where would be the best place to buy weapons in this city?
Well, what kind of weapons are we talking here?
Weapons to kill people with. Sharp weapons. Swords, knives, daggers.
Understood. Well, I'm sure there's a number of smithies at the bazaar.
Okay.
But if you're looking for something special, I'm sure Maritza Irwin would be the first person I would go to.
Maritza Irwin?
Yes.
Okay.
Is there an apothecary full of good things to eat and medicines?
That's a good question.
I would definitely go to the bazaar for that.
Excellent.
Well,
go then.
wait a second. Marcus, tell me a little bit about yourself. Why are you seem to be a pretty successful man. Your farm seems to be well tended to. You seem to be well set over here. Why are you still living outside the city? I imagine there's some really nice places to live inside the walls.
Alas, this is my burden. You are correct. I am doing fairly well for someone of the Outer Lands. The problem is, all the guild heads have made me the intermediary of the Outer Lands. I'm kind of a guild leader for the farmers, but the other guild members they don't really look at me as someone worthy of a seat at the table. They kind of see me as a kid at the kids' table.
And how exactly does one become a guild head? How many guild heads are we talking about here?
Well, there are a number of guild heads. From arms to jewelers and any kind of import and export, any kind of good. I'm sure there are guilds for all the major. Like there's an apothecary guild, and they have a guild head. There's a smithy guild head, a master of arms, or master of the forge, I should say.
Well, then let me ask you, Marcus, exactly what would it take to get you a seat at the table here? I imagine having you as an ally in Brinst would greatly help our friend Shalou.
Oh, well, this is the flip side. I mean, as much as I am annoyed and I don't really like the UTC. They've taken care of me out here, and I'm not living in squalor like some of these other laborers.
Mm-hmm. So you like the UTC?
It's a love-hate relationship.
Interesting. And what's your take on the UTC exactly? They have the stranglehold on Brinst. Things seem to be peaceful here. What harm are they doing?
Well, it's rife with corruption. You have to pay a price for anything in this city. I mean, there's a reason only the elite live in those walls.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. It's a beautiful city, but you're not surviving there on farmers' wages.
Understood. Exactly what time is it now in the grand scheme of things?
You probably got there around 4 or 5 o'clock.
In the afternoon?
Yes.
Gentlemen, I think it may be worth our time to set bed down here for the night. Perhaps make our way into Brinst in the morning.
Did we ask? Maybe he doesn't want us here.
I'm sure we can float him a fluke.
Yes, Marcus, do you have space for us to stay the night?
Maybe we should keep moving.
No. It's fine. You can stay the night, of course. We'll head to the city in the morning. I have some business there myself.
What do you think, gents?
I don't want to trouble him. We should really, go.
I think it may be. I think it may be worth bedding down here for the night. We can get our way into the markets in the morning.
That sounds fine. I can show you. Actually right to where Maritza's is. I have to go into that district myself.
Well, it's settled then. Let's go to bed.
I mean, it's only 5 o'clock.
Well, Grizz is gonna go. Grizz is gonna go
tired.
outside and start doing push-ups and pull-ups. He's getting swole.
Oh,
Get yoked.
He's got like the water jugs over the yoke over his back. He's like bringing water back and forth to the cows, and he's like trying to like pick up cows and squat with them.
oh my gosh. Are you
Almost
guys sure you
compensating.
don't want to know anything else about the city? There's so much more than just the bazaar and the barracks.
Well, tell me. Well, all right, Grizz comes back.
surprises.
He's just sweating. All right, let's have some dinner. Let's talk about this over dinner, shall we? Can I go? I'll go slaughter one of
sure.
your cows.
No, I already have meat prepared. It's fine. It's really
Are
okay.
you sure? I'm getting pretty stabby.
So-
It's been a while.
I mean,
Take it easy, Grizz. There will be plenty of time for stabby, killy later. I'm sure.
All right. Let's get to food. Let's get some food. I'm hungry.
So Marcus, tell me more about this structure that's on the right-hand in the right-hand corner of this map here. It looks kind of like once you're inside the city. It's some kind of church?
oh, up the very top?
No, at the bottom right corner here.
Oh, that's the barracks. There's a large guard tower with, battlements in case someone were to lay siege on the entire city.
What about this large structure to the west? I'm assuming it's the west of this large square structure here, right behind the bazaar. What am I looking at here?
Oh, that's the museum.
What's a museum? Please explain. What's a museum?
A museum, I guess it's not as common as I would think. I'm so used to it going into the city all the time. It's a large place where art and artifacts are stored for people to come and look at.
I see.
It's culture. So remember, this is the elite playground. There's the museum's right there, and then across the street, the main avenue, is the theater. It's the largest theater, I believe, in the whole Roselands.
I see. And is this another wall separating these buildings? Are there multiple walls inside this place?
They're not walls, but it's like the avenues and the roads are sectioned off. It's kind of funny. To me, it looks like a leaf where things are sectioned off with stems going through with the road and everything else. But then there's housing and guildmasters' quarters, and then in the top eastern, it's actually the corner of the city is the eastern front facing the sea. And that large building, I must tell you, it's pretty legit. I mean, underneath there is a huge library. That's where all the city plans, all of the documentation from all of the meetings, all the guildmasters meetings, I should say. They happen about once every month. We just had one last week, so you don't have to worry about seeing the guildmasters running around and all the pomp and splendor that's spent for these things. But it's also where the mayor lives.
Where the what is?
The mayor lives.
The mayor.
So, going back to this museum, would there be stuff from like the Great War with the rose petals or anything about that in there, or is it just kind of more general cultural kind of stuff as well?
I don't know about any rose petals. What are those?
Oh, nothing. It happens to be a little. He collects these things called rose petals. It's sort of
It's
like
our band
collectible
name. It's our
cards,
band
and
name.
he's
Yeah.
he's got a binder full of them. It's really boring. It's like stamps.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's just a hobby of mine.
Boring. Nerd alert.
I may be a large brute, but I have a tender side.
no, I know they have some ornate paintings. I know that's where the rose bush is. The museum is actually built around the rose bush. It's a big cultural part of the city, and they decided to commemorate that by showing other great works around it. There's lots of paintings. There's some armaments, some like famous armaments, and I believe there's going to be a new exhibit coming out, but they haven't announced it yet, and I don't think it's going to be available for the public for about like maybe 3 days. I think this weekend. I think they were going to have a big gala event showing off this new exhibit that seems to be hush hush.
Whoa! Now you've caught my attention. This gala event is at the museum, you say?
Yeah.
And how would one attend this event?
Well, you'd have to be super rich, a lot of credibility.
Have you seen my biceps? Credibility left and right. Boom, 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 boom. And he does finger guns.
Oh, Chris. Make a performance check.
Woo! That's a natural 20.
I may have you come with me. This could be entertaining.
Oh my!
Oh, I'm there. I want to see what's going on here.
Well, I of course have an invitation.
Do you have a plus
It's not a plus
one?
one situation.
Oh, I see.
It's not a plus one situation, but with that performance, you might be just as keen on the eye as some of these other paintings.
Mm-hmm. You should see my abs.
Oh, do tell.
I lifted my shirt and just like scrunch them around.
Make another performance.
Jeez.
Oh Jesus! Please roll a
That's
one.
an 18.
No.
Swear to God.
What's your
I look at it and I
charisma?
say, I see a pirate ship. That one looks like a hippo.
Oh my god.
Marcus, do you have any?
That's actually a
cheese?
21 with my modifier.
You have any fresh cheese that needs that needs shredded?
So your shirt actually just like rips off as you flex. Somehow,
He's left with a Chippendales collar.
like some people can like make their pecs bounce up and down. You somehow learned a way to make your abs like individually like bump out like they were like a base.
I look like Terry Crews, is what you're saying.
Yes, exactly.
It's like an etch-a-sketch. They like form in the pictures.
I could cook a steak on that.
One of them is literally reaching out to shake your hand.
Well,
So
I think it's worth revisiting this exhibit, Marcus, later in the week if we may.
Oh, of course. Yeah, like I said, I think it'll be. I think the event. I have to check my invitation, but I think it's in 3 days.
Perfect. All right. Anything else we should know before we enter the city? I feel like it's I don't know exactly what we're looking for here. I'm sure Shalou gave us some directions on where to begin, but we are looking for someone. We'll have to.
Oh, who are you looking for?
You know, she didn't exactly say. I think we're gonna have to figure out exactly where we need to be when we get there.
We'll know when we see.
Okay. I mean, I guess if you're gonna be in the city for a couple days, you should try to catch a show. I mean, the theater is right across, so you could see the museum, and then spend some time there, and then go hit a show.
We love the theater. We love it.
Oh, that's excellent. As do I. In fact, I hear Loon Otto Steeple is in town.
Wonderful. Who's that?
Loon Otto Steeple. Oh, he's kind of a big deal in all the big cities. He travels as a bard. He's famous. I believe he's been working on a new form of play. It involves singing of all things, and he's calling it a tunity.
It's a terrible name. Never catch on.
Just for that, I kind of don't want to see it.
I mean, I can't fault the guy. He grew up in the Outerlands like me, so I kind of look at him in admiration for making something of himself, kind of like I have here.
Agreed, Marcus, agreed. Well, I'm just about beat. I'm ready to hit the sack.
Okay. And as you guys spend the evening over some ale and some steaks, surprisingly no chicken. Marcus is looking into that. For whatever reason, he couldn't find the chicken he put aside.
I make cooing noises to my chest.
All goes well throughout the evening. He tells you stories about herding cattle and other cattle-related incidents.
Only the most riveting tales.
Only the most riveting of tales.
I lay Scarl out in front of the fire to warm his scales.
That is a beautiful lizard.
Wow, why thank you.
Can we eat him?
He's for sale. Would you like him?
Maybe that is that a giant's ring?
Nope. Too low.
No, I'm saying. I see what you did there.
I've changed my mind. He's not for sale.
Okay.
But yes, that is a giant's ring.
It looks like a wonderful tiara for. You said Scarl. Scarl was its name.
Scarl. Good old Scarl.
Oh,
Loyal.
very nice.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd do without him.
Is that why you just offered to sell him?
I don't remember that.
Right.
And the evening winds down, and you guys kind of end up talking about how Marcus wishes he had a seat at the big boys' table, as it were. He has a lot of resentment, and I think Shalou knew that, and that's why she kind of like directed you guys towards him. She knew that, in a city run by the UTC, it's good to have someone who not only plays a part in its politics, but someone who has a reason to to have some disdain for the UTC as a corporate entity controlling literally everything in this city, but the economy for the most part in the rest of the kingdom. So
That sounded like valuable information that I've already forgotten.
excellent.
And we're sleeping?
Yeah, I guess you guys Marcus falls asleep in his chair by the fire, as you guys lose your way in your cups for the evening.
Does this count as a short rest?
This counts as a long rest.
Ooh.
I don't think that does anything for me. I didn't lose any hit points.
Oh wait, that means all my spell shield. All right. Before we go to bed and take this long rest, I'm gonna do mold earth, and I'm gonna mold a rock into a perfect depiction of myself riding a polar bear.
You got it.
Yes.
Does that mean I regain any hit points that I had lost?
I believe the way that works is you re-roll. Yeah, you get all your hit points back, and I think you have to roll like a D4,
Cool.
and that's how many hit dice you get back. If you healed up at all and used any hit dice.
All right. I don't think I used any hit dice before. I think I just used that potion. Like whenever we were in the cave after the
Okay.
troll. So I was just wondering if I got all that back from
Yeah,
this
you
rest.
should have gotten all that back. So you guys wake up the next morning, have a nice hearty breakfast, and make your way to Brinst. It's a couple hours by horse. Your horses have, of course, rested very nicely last night. Marcus has his own stables, so there was no issue. He put them up for the night just like you guys, and everyone's good to go, and you guys are making your way to Brinst.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah. We're just going to Brent's. Let's do it.
All right. Is there anything
We're on the road to Prince.
Is there anything else you guys want to ask Marcus about on your way over there?
I ask him what he thinks of my statue.
What statue?
Of myself wearing a
Oh, that
riding
was
a polar
magnificent.
bear. It's
Oh, thank you.
It's my gift to
I appreciate
you.
that. I'll make sure it gets a nice place in the house. Celebrating the meeting of you three. And something to remember Chris's abs by. Ugh. Butter. All right, so make a... Aydin, roll a d6.
5.
All right. As you guys approach the city of Brinst, there are 4 guards kind of at the main gate, and as you guys approach, they ask who is approaching their city. They don't just let anybody in, and Marcus, kind of schmoozes over the guards. They know of him. They seem kind of annoyed by him. Like he's kind of small potatoes, and they're like, this guy again. If I have to hear him talk about cows one more time, you just kind of get that expression as he explains that he has business in the city himself. He names an appointment. You guys don't make any of that out, but what you do make out is the fact that he turns and points over to you three. And the guards kind of shake their heads begrudgingly, and they open up the gate, and you guys enter.
All right. I'm gonna try. Does Marcus stay with us, or is he gonna go do his own thing?
I give the guards big toothy grins as we walk by, and I say, "Hello, friends."
We'll be watching you, dirty man. And actually, Marcus says to you guys, take it all in. Take in the city. Oh, man, I love this place. Wish I could live here. But did you guys need me to take you anywhere in particular? I remember we talked about Marissa last night. Is there anything else you guys wanted to see? Or
I want to go to the bazaar.
Yeah, I also want to go to the bazaar.
Okay.
And then
Yeah, I'll go there.
I also want to see Mirza.
All right. Well,
I don't really care about Mirza. I want to shop.
Right.
Oh, that gold burning a hole in your pocket.
Why are we here again? I forget.
oh no.
Are you being earnest? Or are you just messing around?
Let's go to this bazaar.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that was serious or in earnest now.
It was in
Oh
character.
boy.
Still not entirely sure.
Still not 100% sure. All right, so you guys enter the bazaar. Is there any shops in particular that you want to go see?
Potions.
All right. You guys...
Any particularly magic potions would also be nice.
I'll file that under potions, yes. Anything else?
Yeah, I want to look for armor, like light armor, like the stuff that I wear, and I'm also looking for a nice armory, daggers, swords, things of that type.
Oh, if you're looking for daggers and swords, you're going to just want to hold on to that purse money until you get to Maritza. She has the finest enchanted weaponry.
Ooh. How about armor?
There's more than likely a smithy
Okay.
in the corner of the bazaar over on the northern wall that we could take you to.
Okay.
And the apothecary, they're over on the western side towards the entrance of the gate. So as you come in, the apothecary is going to be the first thing you see. I don't think I'm going to follow you guys or come with you or anything. I have an appointment in the next district on the other side of the museum. There's a couple houses over there. It's in actually the same neighborhood as Maritza. But I'm going to head over there now, and I'll catch up with you guys later.
All right, you got it, Marcus. Thank you.
And you see him get lost in the shuffle as there are a ton of people at this bazaar, and he kind of immediately fades out of the picture with all these other people.
I put my leash around Scarl and I start, pompously parading him into the bazaar, like he's a French bulldog.
And that actually is not abnormal. You see other people with exotic pets and stuff like that. What is getting you more stares than anything is how dirty you are.
It's called peacocking.
It's something.
It's a weird kind of peacocking.
Yeah.
I do look a bit disgruntled that I'm not the only one walking an exotic pet.
I mean,
though.
no, there aren't any lizards. Like, you see some, like, fancy, well-groomed dogs. You see one person with, like, a small... It almost looks like a dragon, but it's more of like a whelp. It's flying around and on this person's shoulder.
I turn to Scar. I'm like, "Can you fly?"
He looks at you, kind of cocks his head sideways, and, like, sticks out his tongue.
That's what I thought.
Murp, murp.
I guess I should clean up. Is there a bathhouse anywhere around here?
Yes, actually, in the southeastern corner of the bazaar, there is a large bathhouse, marble tile. It's decadent. It looks like, it's like it's like a big attraction at the bazaar. A lot of people like to stop there, take a break in between all this, the shopping and the sights, because part of the fun of going to this bazaar is seeing all the rare items and exotic things. So, it gets a little exhausting after a whole day of walking through the sea of people, and the bathhouse is definitely a place to go.
I'm gonna go to the bathhouse and take a bath and see, the workings and dealings of the underworld usually takes place at bathhouses as well. I'm gonna peek around and see if I can learn anything.
What kind of things do you think happen at bathhouses exactly?
Russian mobsters always meet in Turkish bathhouses. It's how it works.
You know what? I'm not making a comment. I'm just gonna leave it there.
Just careful what you peek around.
Always the bathhouse. The steaming hot water and steamy dark deals, they go hand in hand.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna sneak around the bathhouse and also get clean in the process.
You make your way. Are you giving up on the apothecary right now? You want to get clean first?
No, I'm gonna go. I figured I would get better service if I cleaned up.
That's probably fair. So you guys, is anyone else going with you?
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah,
It's for them
not
to decide.
interested in the bathhouse.
Okay. So you.
I can sneak around better without them, anyways.
Okay. Are you? You're gonna sneak?
Yeah, I'm gonna sneak. I'm gonna clean up, and then while I'm still sopping wet and naked, I'm gonna sneak around the bathhouse and see if I can hear anything.
Make a stealth check.
Let's see. 17 plus my modifier.
It is absurd.
Where is stealth?
Under.
Dexterity.
It's at least a 4.
Plus 4. Plus 4, so 21. I got a 21.
Okay, so as you get to the bathhouse, you see the front desk and you flip 2 coins. They kind of give you a side eye at how dirty you are, and they I guess the owner of the establishment, the guy running the front desk, he holds up his arm and just flicks his hand towards him 2 times, very sharp, and a younger man comes over with several towels and a robe, and you go off with him, and he gets you prepped for the bathhouse, puts all your stuff away, makes sure Scarl has a nice bowl of water and some very tropical looking fruit.
I hope Scarl is also wrapped in a towel, including a towel, wrapped around his non-existent hair, but, in that little beehive fashion. That's how I would like him taken care of.
There is a little towel wrapped around his midsection, giving him the mobility to still walk forward. And there's also a tiny little hand towel that has been kind of wrapped around the top of his head, because they don't have ears. They have holes. So I guess you could put like earmuffs on him, kind of. So Scarl's good and taken care of, and now you're relaxing. There was for someone of your stature in particular, there is an even shorter pixie who does like a tiptoe massage on your back as you get your massage done, and then the pixie.
I didn't know this was gonna be a spa day.
Yeah, you're getting the full.
Treat yourself.
This is the full bathhouse experience. You got the massage first, and now you're the pixie kind of leads you over into the steam room and opens up the door and points you in the direction of all the steam billowing out. And
this is definitely why we came to Brinst.
You're doing Brinst right. So you're in this bathhouse. You don't really see anybody that you think you recognize or anything like that, obviously. There's a couple humans, there's a couple dwarves. Looks like there might even be some elves, some Eladrin elves in particular, that are having conversations all in bathrobes similar to yours. If there is one thing, it is that no one looks more fancy than the other in the bathhouse. It's a very level playing field, as it were. It doesn't look like anyone is being treated any better than the other. You're all getting treated very well.
I want to flitter between these different groups, and without them noticing me, try and overhear their conversations.
Okay, I would say make a performance check.
Wait, didn't I just make a stealth check?
You did.
Was that?
Yeah, that counts.
Did I stealthily get a pixie massage? Was that my reward?
No, your reward is for the stealth check. You're able to kind of just blend in with a lot of the other patrons. Who would you like to sit next to first?
Let's check out the dwarves.
Okay. You sit down next to the dwarves. They kind of don't notice you because you're about the same height as them, so you're not, towering over them as they continue their discussion on the prices of gold and astral diamonds. They They talk about how the lack of a war is surprisingly still good for business somehow, because people are always paranoid, especially dwarves. So they kind of have a Cold War situation going on with themselves. They don't really have any enemies, but they just feel like they need to be prepared. So we're talking about how smithing cost versus the cost of mining other raw materials is affecting the gold price. Nothing too crazy.
It's boring. I want to move on to the humans.
Okay. The humans and the Eladrin are actually talking together. It's a group of like five people, 3 Eladrin and 2 humans. You see them kind of off on the side, and what they're actually talking about is the fact that the mayor of the city, Gax Tarl, he's been in a rampage as of late, which isn't super surprising. He's a forge master, so you kind of overhear the fact that he's extremely frugal and he's very stern. So him flying off the handle pretty easily over excessive showmanship that the Eladrin were trying to give him as they took him over to the theater. They're kind of like complaining to these humans, and the humans, they're kind of just listening and nodding and kind of shooting back with ideas. And you notice that one of these humans, he has a goatee and he has like a ponytail pulled back, and he just looks so empathetic to all of the Eladrin and what they're trying to accomplish. And you kind of overhear him talking about how if they would have just done a tunity, it would have went well.
Okay. Anything in particular out of that I should be particularly interested in? Do I glean any information from this?
Well, you continue to hear this human speak, and he starts saying to these Eladrin, like, listen, you gotta take it from the heart with all this stuff from, the stuff that I got from the Outerlands. It might not be something you can take with you, but sometimes it is. It's kind of like this, like, for whatever reason, the mayor, Gax, he loves my performance. I mean, maybe he just loves the fact that I'm talking about the first Rose King, but I mean, how can you mix up these words? Like, how does a runt, orphaned, son of a wench and a farmer, dropped in a forsaken barren spot a crop in? I mean, like, it writes itself. It's gold.
Jeez.
Sounds plagiarized gold, but gold nonetheless, friends. Is this your new play you're working on?
Oh, are you a fan of the theater?
I am a great fan of theaters.
Oh my, it's good to have a fan in here. It happens occasionally. I'm calling it a tunity. I'm very excited about it.
That's a terrible name. You should reconsider.
Well, what would you call it then?
I don't know. A show tune?
That's brilliant. But
so what is this play all about? I've been hearing all about it.
oh well, it's a small story about how the Rose King came from nothing, and he united all the peoples of what is now the Roselands and ended the war.
The Great War.
Yeah. Do you know about it?
I see.
Are you a historian? Is that what you work at the library?
I am casually aware. I've heard some things.
No doubt, no doubt.
And what is the source material for this play?
Well, I've been spending a lot of time at the library going over old meetings, and did you know that the Rose King actually came to Brinst 1,000 years ago?
Really?
Yeah.
I did know that. I did.
I mean, I'm performing over at the theater, but I know a guy at the museum. I could totally get you in to show you, the rose bush. You guys know about the rose bush, right?
Oh yeah, love the rose bush. Go there all the time.
Oh, you do?
What? Yeah, yeah.
So you know that that's where the king went whenever he visited 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, totally knew that. It's that thing over by that other thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
Just past, the thing.
Have you really been to see the rose bush?
Yes, maybe.
I'm gonna have you
It's hard to tell.
make a deception check because you are lying.
I got it.
What gave you that impression?
I got an 11.
-1.
Oh yeah, for charisma, so 10.
I mean, if you've been to the museum and everything, you know that the rose bush is right in the middle of the whole building. It's kind of built around it.
Right. Totally knew that.
Do you really like the theater, or are you just making everything up now? Who is this guy?
I hate the theater, and I'm gonna throw my chicken at him and run out.
Where were you keeping a chicken?
The same place I hid it from that farmer this entire time.
I figured you kept the chicken in like your backpack or whatever, and you're clearly just wearing a bathrobe right now. Like,
yeah, he is in the bathrobe.
oh my god,
it's a very well behaved chicken. But I toss Brunhilde at this theater mop.
You named the chicken.
Yes, Brunhilde. I toss it, and in the commotion and flying feathers, I scamper out with my belongings and Scarl.
I'll accept that. You rolled a good stealth check. That's for like the whole trip. Okay, so what were you guys doing while that was happening?
Well, we were going to do something productive. I wanted to go find some.
That was so productive.
Some
I
armor.
found out so many things.
Now, that we're going to find some armor first in the bazaar, and then I'm going to go find Mirza Irwin.
Okay.
Irwin.
And I just found a bench to sit down and people watch and see what I could hear from all the people walking by, since it's a super crowded market and everything. Just kind of see if anybody stands out or anything
All
to
right.
me.
Aang, I think your thing is easy and we can do it really quick. Hopefully. Roll a perception check.
All right. 10 plus 2, so 12.
So as you are sitting at this bench, you're kind of in the center of the bazaar. There's a big open square with a very large fountain. You can kind of see it on the map. In the center of the bazaar, there's like a little fountain right there. So you're sitting kind of in that area, and you overhear a lot of whispering. There's a lot of excitement about Loon Otto Steeple's new play. People are whispering because they're wondering if it has anything to do with this new exhibit that's going to be going on at the museum. They're talking about some of the other famous people that have made their way into the city for this weekend. It seems like there's a static buzz about the museum and everything happening. You also overhear that some of the guild heads have been accepting a lot of foreign visitors from the UTC, and that it seems like a lot of UTC members, and if they aren't the guild heads themselves for this town, they may be heads of service in other cities and towns. So there's a lot of people kind of gathering for this weekend at the museum.
Okay. So do we like meet up at all, or are we still like trying to just doing our own thing?
I come running by in just my bathrobe, carrying my belongings, with Scarl trailing behind me.
Yeah, Aang.
And I run past Aang.
As you are sitting there after like the first 2 hours, you kind of see this whole scene in front of you. As Hugh starts to run past you, we're going to break off and go back to see what Gris was doing, the armory.
All right. I'm looking for... All right, so I'm going to walk into the armory, and I am looking for something that's going to make me a little tougher as a rogue, because I'm not a huge fan of my current armor. So I'm looking for something that's leather armor, maybe a little higher. So I'm going to shop around, looking for something that's
So that way you just won't hide yourself in dirt behind
Well,
the
yeah.
bush.
I mean,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what armor do you currently have?
I currently have leather armor, just leather armor. So it's a 11 armor class,
Okay.
and I get a +2 dex mod, so I have a 13 AC. I'd like to up my armor if possible. If it's
It should be possible. That might be something that. Did you want to like hash out what specifically you were looking for at the armory, or were you just trying to go in and out really quick and pick up some armor?
Yeah, I think. I mean, I guess I could like commission some armor if that's something that the armory would do. I guess I could. Let's walk into the armory and I'm going to find someone to talk to.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Of course. I'm just trying to make sure I have what you're looking for at hand.
How much did my bathhouse trip cost?
2 gold. You flipped 2 gold as soon as you got in there.
2 gold? Jeez. All right.
It's expensive. You basically paid 2 gold to have another human being watch over all your stuff, take care of you, have the pixie give you the massage. Paid almost an entire gold just to sit in the steam room, and I would just count all your gold and make sure that helper didn't take anything.
Jeez.
That's what you get.
All right, it's all here.
Oh my goodness. So you, Gris, enter an armory, and you see it's like a little hole-in-the-wall store, and in the back you can see like a fire constantly being fanned by an apprentice, while a burly, dark-skinned dwarf is hammering away.
Gentlemen, salutations and good morning. My name is Grizz, and I'm here to shop for some armor.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking. So I'm wearing leather armor currently, and I'm looking for something, perhaps a little more that'll hold up a little bit better in the heat of battle. But I still need to be able to move. I'm going to show my abs and arms. I need to be able to move to swing these bad babies around.
Make performance checks
Oh, jeez.
to these burly, muscle-bound men.
19 plus performance is
Are you rolling another spin down, or are you rolling like a real D20?
It's a D20.
Good.
Don't be mad because he's buff.
Oh, I'm not. You are. It's like a cross between checking yourself out at the gym and like voguing. You're just flexing so hard. Ridiculous amounts of flexing. Similar to what you had kind of given Marcus as a show yesterday. These guys are definitely impressed, and they want to make sure that they can help you cover those beautiful muscles.
Yeah, I'm pretty swole. I'm looking to cover these guys, but like I said, I still need to be able to be dexterous in battle. I do lots of flips and somersaults, and it's pretty amazing and pretty acrobatic.
It's pretty awesome. The apprentice is like fangirling over you right now.
So tell me what you have here. It's been a long time since I've had to purchase armor, and I'm looking to get a good deal on something.
Well, I've got a couple belts here, and, well, you know, I've got some boots. Just boots and belts.
Tell me about your finest belt, sir. I don't know how that's going to protect me from getting stabbed. I guess if it's a real big belt, is it like a championship belt? Is there a lot of gold and jewelry on it? What are we looking at?
Well, this belt, and he points to a black leather and metal belt. Ooh. It has a large face on the buckle. It has a huge belt buckle. It's pretty ornate. Has some metalworking with some gold inlaid, and you're not entirely sure, but it almost looks like the face on the belt buckle is the face of a giant.
Ooh. Will this belt fit me?
Yeah, definitely. It's the belt of giant strength.
Ooh, I'm interested. Tell me more about this belt.
Well, they're pretty expensive, but you know, There's the cloud giant, the storm giant, and the hill giant. I would for you. I would recommend the hill giant, but
I see.
It's gonna cost you.
I understand. And exactly what can I expect from getting this hill giant belt?
Well, yeah.
Out of character, what that belt does is it changes your strength score depending on what kind of giant face is on the belt.
I see. Okay.
For you, it would be a hill giant right now, and that would make your strength 21.
Oh. And that would increase my damage? Okay.
There's also, he points to another belt.
Well, this belt, as you can see by the lovely dwarven face that I made, that's my wife, by the way, and it has like this.
She's quite beautiful.
It's another large buckle, and you can kind of see like a light mustache, like a very light mustache compared to his full beard he has going on. But he's like, she's gorgeous.
She is quite something, sir. And exactly, you put this belt on other men to wear?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
Out of character, this the belt of dwarven kind. It raises your constitution by 2. And you have advantage on charisma persuasion checks when you interact with dwarves.
Okay.
Also, if you're attuned to the belt, it does a funny thing of 50% chance of every day you have a chance of growing a full beard at dawn. If you're capable of growing one, or a visibly thicker beard if you already have one.
Okay.
You would also have advantage against poison, resistance against poison, dark vision, and you can speak, read, and write Dwarvish.
Oh,
the belt of dwarven kind is pretty legit. I won't lie to you guys.
Yeah, what the fuck? How'd you learn Dwarven? Hooked on belts.
Well, you two, for this kind of, for like...
Wow, your beard looks really good today. Thanks. My beard, it's my belt.
So in 5th edition, a lot of magical items, you have to spend at least like 1 dedicated hour in-game attuning to that piece of magical equipment. So it's kind of like you put the belt on, but then you also have to kind of like read the instruction manual, as it were, kind of like checking out every nook and cranny. If like sometimes there's sentient items that you'll have to like actually talk to, but for these it's kind of like you just need to meditate for an hour with these belts and attune your body to the way the belt feels and bends with you to kind of really get it broken into your specific person.
Okay. And, good sir, I didn't catch your name, my friend. What's your name?
Funny you ask. Everybody does. It's Balthor.
Althor.
Yes.
Excellent, Althor. First, let me just commend you on such an amazing, exquisite shop. You are clearly a craftsman who cares very much for the items that he creates. Tell me, how much would one be able to spend on this Hill Giant belt?
Oh, the Hill Giant belt? That'll be 20,000 gold pieces.
Good God, my friend. Okay. And I can't quite take my eyes off this beautiful dwarven face and this other belt. Can you please tell me, good sir, what this belt would cost?
That would cost you, I believe I have it marked at 3,000 gold pieces.
Okay. It's a bit more reasonable. How
much gold do you have? Because I don't have that much.
Tell me, my friend, do you offer lines of credit?
Not typically, especially to... Do you live in the city?
I do not live in the city. My good friend Marcus lives just outside the city. He owns a very prosperous farm. We are actually we are in the city on business with and for Marcus.
I get steaks from that guy every week.
Oh, amazing, right?
Completely amazing.
The marbling and the steaks is just fantastic. Even the flank steak is something to write home about. I mean, the guy really knows his meat.
He does know his meat pretty well.
In the background, you can just see me running by still at a breakneck speed, like pulling my clothes on, but still like running dead out.
Oh, at this point, you still, you're still getting your massage at this point of his conversation. You haven't run out quite yet.
It was my doppelganger.
Must.
Oh, I'm stuck in a time loop.
It was some other like weird hobbit running through the streets naked.
Nah, knowing Sylvanos, it's he put me in a time loop.
Well, Althor, I must say you have quite the shop here. I'm afraid my current state of affairs, this is a bit out of my price range. However, I would like to strike a deal with you, my friend.
Okay.
I'd like you to keep that. I mean, level with me here, friend. How often do you sell a belt like this hill giant belt? I imagine that such a rare find doesn't move off your shelf quite often.
I sell about 3 of them every week.
You sell 3 hill giant belts a week.
Well, not just the hill giant. I sell storm giant and. I mean,
Grizz right now is feeling pretty queasy. He's like got his hands on his knees. He's like,
I'm quite wealthy.
now I know how you can afford Marcus's steaks, my friend. Well, Althor, I appreciate your time, my friend. I'm afraid these are just a bit out of my price range. However, I will be back, and I'd appreciate if you keep me in mind here.
I see what you have going on here, and I see you have some leather armor here. It looks well worn, and I can respect that. I do have Gary, get out that studded leather. And his apprentice, who like still can't take his eyes off of your biceps, leaves for a couple of seconds into the back behind the forge. And comes back with a studded leather breastplate armor. And he says to you,
Well, I could probably get away with this one. It sounds like you were fairly shocked at how expensive some of these wares are. What if I just was able to give this to you for 40 gold?
40 gold is something I can certainly swing, my friend. And to be able to wear a piece of armor from a store as illustrious as this would be a great honor as well.
I appreciate that. And just for that, let me see that really quick. Let me take care of this. And as you start getting out your money from your coin purse and everything else, he kind of takes a hot piece of steel fresh out of the fire and kind of engraves 2 long like ram horns on like the breastplate part of the leather, and it's now personalized for you. It has these 2 large ram horns kind of coming off of it, inspired by your own horns.
Althor, you do me, you humble me, my friend. I cannot thank you enough for this wonderful piece of armor. I'm going to give him his 40 gold.
All right.
And I'm going to tell him, next time you find Marcus, you tell him that you're going to get the friends and family discount from now on.
I'll make sure I get my half a cow off of him for next week.
Good man. So I'm going to put on the leather armor, and I'm going to depart the store.
Cool. So with studded leather armor, that should add at least 1 to your AC.
Oh, beautiful.
I think it goes from 11 plus your dex, which is just regular leather armor, to studded leather, which is a 12 plus your dex. So that gives you an extra to your AC. So that should help a little bit.
Thank you.
Now do I run by?
Now you run by, and at this point, your towel has actually dropped, and you are running through the Bazaar of Brinst, stark naked.
I see him streaking across, literally streaking across, and I'm going to wave
Scarl's
goodbye.
towel still on.
Yes,
Scarl's towel
he's
is
good.
still on.
He's good.
I'm gonna wave.
Scarl's decent.
I'm gonna wave goodbye. I'm gonna flex I'm gonna flex the python one last time for Gary, and I'm gonna sprint out the door after Hugh.
All right. So at this point, Aang, do you chase after Hugh as he gets a few steps ahead of you?
No, I just continue to walk past.
I'm good.
I'd rather not know why he's running away.
Yeah, because at this point, he like
the
runs
bazaar.
past you, and as he approaches the end of the bazaar, that's kind of where the towel drops, and that's where he starts running past Gris in one of the shops in that corner.
I'm gonna pull my pants on.
You're gonna stop in the middle of the bazaar and put pants on?
Yes. I'm gonna put pants on, and I'm gonna be like, "Sorry, guys, there was a bee. There was a bee, and I just had to get out of there. I'm allergic, you know."
As long as you're clean.
I get dressed, and I head towards the apothecary.
Okay. So, Gris, you were running after him. Are you going to?
Yeah, I'm chasing after him.
Are you going to go into the apothecary with him?
Yeah, I'll walk into the apothecary after him. I mean, is he like? Are you like diving into the apothecary? What are you exactly?
No, I'm starting confidently into the apothecary and say,
Half
"Hello,
clothed.
fine sirs. I would like some drugs."
You're half clothed.
I pull over my shirt over my head as I walk across the thresholds.
All right, I think it's only suiting that his large belly is still uncovered by his shirt as he walks.
I do
in.
not have a large belly.
I've always imagined you with the pot belly.
I'm a hobbit.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the more reason. I've kind of pictured him with a bit of a pot belly too. Not like an overwhelming like whoa.
No,
kind of
like
belly, but,
he's got like a little pot belly. You know, he looks like he's about like 6 months pregnant.
He's a little
Yeah.
chubby. Yeah, he's a little chubby.
Jesus Christ.
You've slept for a long time, man. I mean,
All right, I walk in, and is there a shopkeep?
Oh yeah, there is a.
I'm gonna post up outside the door. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna observe Hugh in his natural state.
By this point, I've catch up to everybody, and I walk into the store with Hugh because I want to buy another potion as well for myself.
Okay.
I come up and I look the shopkeeper dead in the eye, and I ring the bell for service.
She looks at you and puts her hand on top of yours as you try to ring the bell, and like, I'm right here. I'm right here.
I would like one of everything, please.
That's going to be 3 astral diamonds, please.
I don't have any diamonds.
Do you have gold?
I do have gold.
Okay, then that'll be 30,000 gold, please.
I'll give you 30.
Well, I can give you some spearmint.
All right. What if we take kind of the high end? What if you give me kind of just like a grab bag of some of your cheaper assortments?
A potion of healing, that'll run you, I don't know, like 50 gold.
What? These prices are ridiculous. What about your poisons?
I
You
don't
can't heal him,
carry,
kill him.
I don't carry poisons here. This is a clean establishment.
Well, where's the nearest dirty establishment? I need some unreputable goods.
I wouldn't know. Look for a dark corner somewhere.
This won't do.
Are there any other potions of positive things that I can actually give you?
Do you have any transmortation potions? Transmorgation, transmorphin, Power Ranger, transmorphin potions. Things that turns you into other things.
Let's see here. What do I have? I have fire breath, flying, gaseous.
Get the gaseous. I say from the eve of the store.
How much are each of those?
Oh well, they're fairly common. So 50 gold apiece.
50 gold apiece? Come on, woman, work with me.
True story. I'm actually trying to figure out how expensive they are for you guys. I don't know if 50 gold is too bougie or too or not.
I only have 113.
Well, like it's crazy because like in the DMG they should like be giving you some prices here.
I casually saunter up to the counter and put my arm down and like, hey, any chance you could lower the price of that healing potion for me? I just need one of them.
What are you trying to do here?
Can I try to persuade her? Can I do a persuasion check?
Sure. What are you gonna do to persuade? We'll roll for it first.
Just sweet talk.
While he's persuading her, I would like to roll while she's distracted to just swipe the lot of them.
They are behind her on like a shelf. She doesn't have any like in front of her or anything like that. There is not a singles table in front of you. It's all kind of behind a bar type situation.
Aang, ask her for something in the back.
Would you roll?
So I rolled a 12.
Ooh, Aang. Come on, man.
I'm sorry. I have very low charisma anyway.
Okay, well, she looks at you and smiles. You have a very homely face for a dragonborn, but you get better deals if you buy more. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, but I don't have the gold.
I'll saunter in and I'll say, I could use a healing potion myself. And I'm like, my hand is like scratching the back of my head. So I'm like flexing my bicep right near my horn. And like, I'm also sweating I'm like wiping the sweat off my brow. So I'm pulling my shirt up and wipe off my sweat. So I'm like giving the ab and arm show again.
Make another performance check.
That's a 22.
Come on.
I swear.
All right, while she's enamored, I'm stealing something.
Make a sleight of hand check.
19. Hell yeah. I can even screenshot it.
I believe you.
Plus, it's natural 19 plus, where the fuck did my spreadsheet go? Plus 4, so 23.
Oh, jeez.
She had pulled off one regular potion of healing to kind of show Aang that even though you're cute, you still got to pay 50 gold for this thing. And as that was happening, with Gris bursting through the door and kind of flexing his way over, it was like he floated over. He was flexing so hard, like the muscles at the bottom of his feet were just like rolling, and he was like floating over. And she kind of put the potion on the table, and she kind of looks like she's lost in a daydream right now. A very specific daydream about a Gris type character.
I drop my shirt and give her the finger guns. So that's my go-to. Then I holster him.
I took the healing potion in my pocket.
Yeah, and you totally swipe one potion of healing.
And I'm like, all right, how about this? I'll give you 10 gold each for each one of those fancy potions you got there.
I don't think so, but I could definitely give you guys a little bit of a deal.
What's your name, miss?
Hilda.
Oh my goodness. One of my favorite things about traveling to exotic places is just finding these beautiful women with these amazing names. Hilda, my name's Grizz, and I reach my hand out to her.
Oh.
I kiss her hand.
She's a half-elf. I never got to tell you guys this before, so she's a half-elf. And her cheeks flush as she smiles, like, ooh, and like giggles a little bit.
I flash a little wry smile. I say, Hilda, my friend's here. This is, let me introduce Aang. This is my friend Hugh. We are travelers from a faraway port town. We find ourselves in Brynch this lovely week on some business. And as you know, the world is a dangerous place, dark and full of terrors. And we have come across giants and goblins and My goodness, it's been quite the journey.
my.
Oh my, exactly. It's been quite the journey, and to be honest, I can handle myself. I do another wipe of my forehead with my shirt. I can handle.
I make gagging motions.
Look at this poor
behind.
man. He's sickly. He's sickly. Healing potions are something that I don't normally need, but my two friends here can certainly use them in a pinch. We'd love to purchase some of your wonderful healing potions, and perhaps you'd be interested in sharing a drink with me this evening.
I don't want healing potions. I want the good stuff.
Sure, Hugh. What do you need?
I want a bunch of those fancy ones.
Okay, well, Hilda,
Okay.
exactly. Why don't we pull down some potions here and let's make a deal.
Yeah, let's put them on the counter here.
Let's lay them all out.
I imagine Hugh has short arms, though. With his pot belly, he might not be able to reach the potions on the counter. His belly might get in the way.
True.
The bar is pretty high up. I mean, it's kind of at like the bridge of your nose level. Like, how tall are you? How tall are you, Hugh?
I am 3 foot 1 inch.
So the bar is definitely taller than you, actually.
Good thing I have a 4 foot vertical though.
So you're gonna be jumping and stealing stuff?
Yes. Swipe. Swipe.
Oh my god.
I'm like somehow standing in front of him while he's like jumping behind me, like reaching and grabbing. And
I'm
pulling
whacking him with
back.
my tail. I'm holding him down with my tail, but she can't see it. But my tail's wrapped around his ankle.
The potions are on the counter though, correct?
There are 2 potions of healing and 1 potion of giant strength.
What about the fire breathing and the flying? And you should bring those down too.
Oh, well, I just got so enamored by those muscles that this is the first thing I grabbed.
My goodness.
Giant strength.
So let's see if we get these 2 potions of healing and this potion of giant strength, and that fire breathing. My goodness, that sounds fantastic. What exactly can we work up on this lot here?
For the whole lot, 300 gold.
300 gold. And if I take you out to a nice dinner and maybe out for a few drinks, can you knock a 50 gold off there for us?
I mean, for you, make another performance check.
Is it performance or persuasion?
Either one.
All right, let me see. Hold on, let's see what my modifiers are.
I think it's under the same vein.
Yeah, we're going for
Yeah.
persuasion because I have that knocked. Oh. 23. I rolled a
I wanna
17.
roll to swipe
I
the
rolled a
giant
17
strength while he's performing.
No, I'm holding. I have my tail wrapped around his ankle.
No, you don't.
Yes, I said I did.
I got
I'm
16 plus 4, 20
For what?
for swiping the giant strength while he's performing.
I'm holding. I said my
You
tail.
can't hold me down and perform
My
at the
tail
same
is
time.
wrapped around his ankle, holding him to the
You do
floor.
not
I'm
get
talking.
to do 2 things at once.
Um,
While Grizz is performing, I swipe the potion of giant strength.
I'm holding him down with my tail.
No,
I
you're
contend
performing.
we
Make a
need to.
strength
This
check.
is. Thank you. Do I have the belt of giant strength yet?
no, not at all.
Oh.
And also, Hugh, make a strength check. Who's going to say it first? Now I need to know.
Go ahead, Pat.
It's a 9. It's a 9.
Oh,
Mine's a 4. Plus, what's my modifier? Plus 1. I got a 5.
So you are trying to jump, but it's kind of like it's like you're jumping with like a spring because you keep bouncing a little bit like off of like the balls of your toes, but you're not really getting anywhere. Gris is doing a pretty good job holding you down as he is bouncing his pecs up and down and winking his eye at this poor half elf. who at this
throw
point,
Scrawl.
She's about to be the luckiest half elf. You know what I mean?
oh,
I throw Scrawl.
She was.
I throw Scrawl claws first at Grizz's exposed abdomen.
They swipe back at you.
So she kind of like looks around at Aang and at Hugh, and she like leans in really close to you, Grizz, and she whispers, "You're gonna get a lucky potion tonight."
No.
And she said, and she waits for you to hand over the 250 gold.
So I'm gonna drop. Let me see what I have here.
I only have 80 gold.
So I'm gonna drop 100 gold on the table, and you have. I'll take 50 from Aang, and I'll take 100 from. From
No, you ain't taking shit from me. I'm not paying for this.
Listen, you are. I'm gonna turn to Hugh. I'm gonna turn to Hugh. I'm still holding Hugh down with my tail. Hugh, listen, pal. These are for you. I don't need any of these. I'm getting you a great deal, my friend.
I don't want them. I wanted a grab bag
right,
so
fine.
I could play candy roulette with my potions.
Fine. As he tries,
nope.
all right, you're walking away.
I'm not paying.
All right.
Too high.
As he's walking out of the store. I'm stealing his coin purse.
What coin? You get no.
I'm taking
Make
his
a sleight of
coin
hand check.
purse.
No.
And make a perception check, Hugh.
Oh, it fell off the desk. Sleight of hand. That's 16. 12 plus 4, 16.
And your perception check.
I got 11
Oh boy.
plus. What's perception under intelligence?
It's under wisdom.
11 plus 2, 13.
What's your passive perception? I should just know this, but
Where is passive perception?
it is underneath all of those stats. I think yours is 13 or 12. 12. Okay, so Gris manages to sneak a few coins off of you. How much gold did you have?
So I need to. Oh, sorry.
I had 113.
Okay, roll percentage for me.
That's a D10.
That's do 2d10s. Tell me the first one.
9. Suck it.
All right, what's the second one?
Also 9.
99.
Yes.
I get 99% of your
My
gold.
silver piece.
I get 99% of your gold.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. 99%.
No, I rolled. That's how much I keep. I keep 99%.
Oh, I think we need to ask the DM
rolled.
how much you keep.
I'm rolling. I want to roll high.
You don't always want to roll high, but in this situation, Gris would manage to swipe about like 30 gold off of you.
How is 30 gold? How is that keeping 99% of my gold?
It wasn't a percent of your gold. There was reasons.
All right, so 30 gold. Hugh, how much you putting in here? Or Aang, how much you putting in here? 50. That's 80. I'll put in 100. That's 180. I'm gonna hand her 180 gold. I'll say take out whatever you need to make this square for you, and you let me know where to meet you at 8:00 tonight.
Oh, honey, you can keep 30 gold. Here's 1 potion of health and 1 potion of fire breath.
Okay.
She actually gave it to you. And
All
you
right.
still have the 30 gold. You can
And I
choose
still
to give
30.
that back, or you can keep it.
Give that shit back to me.
You don't know what's missing.
I'm gonna know. I count my money every hour on the hour.
And Hilda, my dear, you tell me where the lovely tavern is. I can take you with this 30 gold, and let's make a night of it.
Oh, there's a lovely place just across the street from the museum. It's right on the other side of the bazaar. It's called the Frosty Mug. I'd love to meet you there tonight.
All right. I'll see you there at 8 bells, my girl.
You got it.
All right. And I'm going to walk out of the store with Hugh, and Aang, and I'm gonna hand Aang the potion of health and the potion of fire breath.
All right, and
Nice.
Hugh, where are you during this?
I'm storming off and realizing I'm short gold.
Make an insight check, or not? Would it be insight?
Whatever it is, I rolled a 3.
You don't think anything is wrong.
Ignorance is bliss, am I right?
I'm gonna run up to Hugh and say, "Hey, sorry about that, pal. Sometimes negotiations get a little heated. You know what I mean, friend."
I stab him in the foot with the arrow tip from my crossbow.
Ouch. Okay.
Sorry, it slipped.
Yeah. It slipped twice. Okay. Let's head over to this. Let's head over to this museum here. What time? What time is it, by the way?
Well, you guys got there probably closer to like 11 o'clock in the morning.
All right.
So at this point, it's probably like 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Okay. Hugh, you good to go to the museum with us? I feel like we've gotten a lot of.
This is day 1 before the exhibit opens.
And it's around 1:30, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Aang.
And we have 3 days to kill, right?
Well, you have
Basically.
3 days before the exhibit goes public.
Okay.
Okay.
Aang, you into checking out this museum here?
Yeah, we could
People
probably see what's
People
see
keep
what's in
talking
there.
about this goddamn museum, and I think it's something we should check out.
Yeah, this and that play, that the tickets are extremely hard to get and expensive over at the theater with Otto.
It's Loon, Otto, Steeple.
Loon, Otto, Steeple.
Oh,
he sounds like quite the
got
guy.
it.
Yeah, I got it too.
What?
Like,
Oh, that's
he had some of the hardest tickets to
now
get.
when you enunciated
Yeah.
each name, I got it. That's
You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Not to mention the song lyrics that he dropped. Yeah. Very clever.
It's all an illusion.
I assaulted him with a chicken.
That's in character, by the way.
You did what?
Yeah. I threw Brunhilde at him. Scratched his face up good.
Hugh, you are incorrigible, my friend. I slap on the back. Let's go check out this goddamn museum.
And what?
Is there no one in the bazaar that will sell me poison?
Oh God.
Not in the bazaar. You're gonna have to make a special trip out of the district for that. Out of the bazaar district for that.
I see.
And as you guys make your way out of the bazaar, people are starting to slow down a little bit to grab a midday meal. And you exit out of the bazaar, and the kind of the shady light that had been passing through in between all the stands and all of the coverings on all the locations and the stores and stuff like that. What happens is you open up into the daylight, and it kind of blinds you for half a second, but then as you come to, as like your vision kind of normalizes again into the bright midday sunlight, you see a large, it's almost square, but it's still a little bit longer on the sides facing you, and you see a very large entrance with a large staircase winding out from wide to narrow. And as you're going up, like across the street, you get the feeling of this very large, grand, kind of noteworthy landmark of the entire city. It's definitely like a 4-level building, and you can tell that from the outside. And you see a couple little windows here and there, but it's mostly lit from the inside. And that's where we're going to kind of stop.
All right.
Hey y'all, it's your DM Zeki. As you may have heard at the beginning of the cast, Pat mentioned that you can find us on Facebook. That's really cool. We would love to see more people finding the page, and specifically, we would love to hear back from all the listeners out there. Now, that's pretty cool and all, but what about some sweet loot? Everyone loves stickers, and the first 50 people who write in a review of the show on Facebook will be getting one. Head over to facebook.com, search The Natural Ones or /the Nat1S cast, like, follow, or both, and leave a review to be eligible. Hope to see you there.